I can't believe that Gibson made this guitar. In today's episode, we're taking a look at a very rare Gibson Les Paul. It's got the yellow tiger finish, custom bucker pickups, and it's got a price tag just under £6,000. Hello guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury strand machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Ben Keightley and today we're checking out a very rare and beautiful Gibson Les Paul from the custom shop. They call it the Yellow Tiger and it looks just like Joe Perry's signature model. However, it is just a one-off made to measure. Of course, here at Squealing Pig Guitars, our main mission is to find the best guitars in the world. So we'll be rating this guitar on 3 aspects. Number 1, aesthetic. Number 2, playability and tone. And number 3, value and overall resale value. So I won't hold you in suspense any longer, let's get straight into the aesthetic test. So guitarists, we've got the Lifton case, let's open it up. I have to say I'm very excited for this one. So inside we have a very rare and limited made to measure Gibson Les Paul Reissue 59 Yellow Tiger. This guitar is truly sensational, I'll show you in the B camera. Just look at that finish, you don't see that every day. But more on that later, let's see what we get in the case. So of course we get the Gibson Custom Certificate of Authenticity in this leather bound booklet. We get some assorted hang tags, and we get the plastic cover if you want to replace the medallion on the back. But that's everything that you get with a very high-end Gibson Les Paul made to measure. I have to say, these cases are really cool. As you can see down here, they've put an extra little bit of padding to protect your headstock, which is a really cool feature. So now let's grab this guitar and head outside and do the daylight test. Okay guitarists, now it's time to go over the specs of this 2024 Yellow Tiger Gibson Les Paul. Of course, this is a made-to-measure build, so everything about this guitar is custom in the way that it looks. I have to say, the only other Les Paul I've seen like it is like the Joe Perry signature, which was a similar type of burst, but I believe that wasn't a custom shop, that was a USA one. So to see it made in the custom shop is a real treat. So of course it is a 59 reissue, so there's going to be some vintage correct specs. So we have a one-piece mahogany back, which has this really nice kind of stain over it. Obviously this is kind of like the natural color of mahogany, it's just got that clear stain over it, whereas obviously a standard 59 would have an aniline dye, which make it red. Got a nice Gibson custom medallion there. You can take that off as a plastic one in the case if it's too heavy for you. Of course, on the top we have this beautiful Yellow Tiger finish. It's absolutely wild. 2 pieces of flamed maple, which have some really nice character in it. You can tell someone's picked this out. Got some really nice wide flame, which I'd love to see on these, weird and wonderful Gibsons. Moving on, we obviously have the iconic 59 profile, nice and rounded neck shape. Again, mahogany, of course. Got that bound fingerboard with the tortoiseshell indicator dots, which is nice to see. We then have a rosewood fingerboard, 22 frets, and then we have the celluloid inlay, so that's a vintage correct spec. Of course, this will be 24.75 inches of scale length, and it'll be a 12-inch radius, I believe. We then have a nylon nut and the classic Gibson headstock with the gold Les Paul silkscreen. For pickups, we've got a set of custom buckers. These are unpotted humbuckers, and then we have an ABR1 bridge drilled directly into the top and the aluminium stop tailpiece. Got 2 volumes, 2 tones. These have the Bumblebee capacitors on them. So that's everything you need to know about this gorgeous Yellow Tiger Gibson Les Paul. So now let's go to the tone test. So guitarists, now it's time to do the tone demonstration of this killer Les Paul. For today's episode, I'm plugged into my 2-rock Bloomfield drive on the lead gain channel. And to start off with, we're going to be doing a few clean tones. So let's start off on the neck pickup. So as you can hear, the neck has a really nice kind of bell-like quality to it. I know a lot of people use that adjective, but it just has that really nice kind of rounded sound, really good for fingerstyle playing. Really cool tone. Okay, now let's hit the middle position. That's the middle position. Got a little bit of a twang. Probably do a little bit of kind of country, twang. So this is the bridge pickup. So definitely very twangy, especially on that clean tone. Typically on this channel we don't do crystal clean tones, but a lot of you have been requesting it in the comment section below. If I put it onto the lead gain channel now, you'll hear the natural compression from gain is going to make these pickups sound way better in my opinion. So if I just turn on the lead gain channel, when I play that exact same riff, even though it's not really distorted, it's just a little bit of gain, a little bit of like edge of breakup. That sounds way better, and you got so much scope on these volume controls. They're really high-end potentiometers, so around 5 you're probably gonna have quite a clean tone. Bring it up to about 8, you're gonna get a little bit of edge of breakup. And then full volume, obviously you're gonna get that kind of lead tone. You get the idea. Now let's hit the next pickup one more time before going into the gig test. Guitarists, that concludes the tone demonstration. So let's get a strap on, turn up the volume on the 2-rock and go into the gig test. So let's start off with feedback. I'm just going to roll up the volume and see how much feedback we get. So as you can hear, there's a lot of feedback just from rolling up the volume. Let's play a single note. The notes have a really nice sustaining feedback, so I love that. You kind of expect that from a Les Paul. Obviously it's going to be sustainy, it's going to have nice long melody lines. That sounded cool. Now let's do a little riff test. Now let's hear it in the mix. So guitarists, now it's time to talk about the value of this Gibson Les Paul 59 Yellow Tiger. Of course, it sounds incredible, it plays incredible, just like all the Les Pauls that come from the custom shop. But what makes this one so special? Obviously, it's a very expensive Les Paul, coming in around £5,899. That's the price we're selling it at. But bear in mind, obviously, when you go to the made-to-measure program, that's adding an extra tax on. So you can pay as much as, £12,000 for a made-to-measure Les Paul, depending on the spec that you use. Typically, the ones that get to that kind of value will be Murphy aged. But this is a VOS model, but obviously has a custom finish. But other than that, it is pretty much a regular 59 Les Paul. Nothing, crazy there. It's all, one-piece body, all that type of stuff. We've already gone over it. But in terms of this value, I actually think this is a very good value Gibson Les Paul. Of course, it's very expensive, but you're definitely going to be able to keep your money on it. Obviously, Gibson are a big brand. It's a made-to-measure. It's a one-off. You don't see these very often, which obviously is kind of in your favor when you buy this guitar. This is going to be the only one out there because it's a made-to-measure. So I'd say, obviously, £5,899 is a lot of money, but for this type of guitar, it is a luxurious guitar. You're paying for the very best. It's an incredible instrument, and this could be your one and only guitar. It's an incredible piece. So for that reason, and its decent resale value, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for value. Yes, it's a lot of money up front, but obviously you're getting a killer instrument with a rare finish, and it's also going to keep its money down the line. So in my opinion, that's pretty good value. So now let's go to the end of the video and total up the results for this Gibson Les Paul Yellow Tiger. So let's start off from the beginning of the video. For the aesthetics test, I gave this guitar a 10 out of 10. I think it's one of the best looking Les Pauls I've ever seen, and it's also rare, so it ticks both of them boxes. The build quality is sublime, and I have to say, it just looks incredible. Number 2, playability and tone, I gave it a 9.2 out of 10. It performed really nicely. My only criticism would be in the gig test, it did feed back quite a lot, but quite unpleasantly in areas. But that's a small thing. In the grand scheme of the guitar, you could change the pickups if you were going to gig this live. So in conclusion, it is a great buy if you're looking for a guitar that you want to play or a guitar that you want to sit on for a couple of years and then sell it down the line. So in total, the Gibson 59 Reissue in Yellow Tiger scores a 9.4 out of 10. If you'd like to check out all our other results from these videos, then make sure to hit the link down below to check out the squeal board. But guitarists, that is the end of the video. I have to say, I've had an absolute blast today playing this Gibson Les Paul. It's truly sensational. Whoever ends up with this guitar, you're one lucky guitar player. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.